Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex, Senior Account Executive at GDMFX, with your morning EU session outlook. We'll start with the North American markets. We had the NAHB Housing Market Index for October, 2 points better than expected. It's at the highest level since the same month in 2005. Also, Lacker canceled his speech scheduled for yesterday due to illness. And in Canada, Justin Trudeau is set to become Canada's new Prime Minister after his Liberal Party swept to power in general elections, ending nearly a decade of Conservative Party rule. The Liberals seized a parliamentary majority and unprecedented turn in political fortunes that smashed the record for the number of seats gained from one election to the next. The Liberals had been a distant third-place party in Parliament before this election. Prime Minister Stephen Harper conceded defeat, ending his government's 9-year run in power and the 56-year-old's brand of fiscal and cultural conservatism. This means that we can expect a lot of change from Canada in the near future. The Dow Jones was sideways, the Nasdaq 16 points up, and Dixie up to 94.91 from 94.63. The biggest mover was USD Canadian dollar, 10 points up. Next biggest mover, USD JPY, 3 points up. Today's news is Tier 2. The housing starts month on month, the building permits month on month, and Fed's Yellen speech. Alright, on to the European markets. The euro trimmed losses after hitting a 10-day low against the dollar Monday as investors looked ahead to an important piece of data about the US housing market. The shared currency fell to 1,1309 in early trade, its lowest level since October 9th. The euro's moves come ahead of a meeting of European Central Bank policymakers on Thursday. Most economists believe the ECB will maintain its current program of asset purchases at the meeting, but nearly all of them expect President Mario Draghi to hint that the central bank could expand its program in coming months. This morning, we had Switzerland's trade balance for September come out in a surplus at a little bit over 3 million. Germany's producer price index also came out with negative results. In the UK, the sterling rose on Monday as investors trimmed bets on the dollar on expectations that the Fed will not raise US interest rates soon and the likelihood of a dovish European Central Bank weighed on the euro. Sterling traders will look to a speech from Bank of England Governor Carney today to see if he reiterates his position that rates in Britain could rise irrespective of whether the Fed tightens policy or not. On Friday, Bank of England policymaker Christine Forbes said rates in Britain would rise sooner rather than later. Forbes, who is seen as a hawk and an advocate for a Bank of England rate hike, said Britain had limited direct exposure to the problems seen so far in developing nations, even taking into account how they might hit key trading partners such as Germany. Carney is also to make a potentially seismic intervention into the debate on the UK's place in the European Union in today's speech. Alright, on to the Asian and Pacific markets. Energy shares slumped in Asia Tuesday after a drop in oil prices overnight added to concerns about China's economic growth. We also had the Royal Bank of Australia's meeting minutes. They didn't change the rate. It remains at 2%. Members noted that recent data continued to raise concerns about the outlook for economic growth in China in particular and East Asia more generally, while economic activity in the United States and Euro area continue to recover. However, global financial conditions remained very accommodative, and low oil prices were expected to continue to provide a measure of support to growth in Australia's major trading partners. Domestically, the moderate expansion of the economy had continued, although GDP growth in the June quarter was low. in line with expectations, reflecting what appeared to be temporary weakness in resource exports as well as further falls in mining investment. Alright, in commodities, gold tumbled by nearly 1% yesterday, falling from 3-month highs it reached late last week. After quarterly GDP growth in China slumped below 7%, gold dipped in Asia on Tuesday, with comments later in the day possible from Fed Chair Janet Yellen. Crude futures plummeted more than 3% on Monday, continuing their year-long slump. Crude oil gained in Asia on Tuesday as investors bought an overnight dip, though oversupply worries remain at the forefront of the market. USA and Russia had reached an agreement overnight, and they will continue the attacks over ISIS. That will have an effect on oil. OPEC will hold a special meeting tomorrow as Venezuela gets its wish and plans to propose or to make a proposal to balance the market. Gold had a range of $10, trading at $11.69 now. Silver had a range of 29 cents at $15.81 now. Crude oil had $1.50 range at $46.43 now, and natural gas is trading at $2.46 at the moment with a range of 4 cents. Alright everybody, thank you for the attention. This was today's European Session Outlook. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.